Hi guys, my name is Mera, and as you can see I switched to Noctalia Shell. But why? So basically, I really like my own rice, but I want something that it was more similar to GNOME. So basically, when I started to rise my system, I decided to actually rise it like my old GNOME system. I'm going to put a screenshot here if I remember it. Hope I remember it. So I want to actually transform my Hyperland to a basic GNOME system. Why? Because I like GNOME. If it was for me, I always use GNOME, but I prefer to use a tiling window manager because it's lighter, because it's faster, and all of the stuff, basically. I'm using CacheOS as always. I didn't switch to other system, even though I thought about switching back to Gen 2 because I used Gen 2 for a lot of time, but I don't have the time to actually try Gen 2 again. I rather use CacheOS. It works just fine for me. Also, I developed the system a lot, so I don't have the CacheOS application, but rather some stuff from CacheOS, like the kernel, some stuff for Proton, other stuff. So basically, it's vanilla Arch with some stuff from CacheOS. That's all. This was my old rise. I'm going to show you. I'm going to open my repo where the is here. So basically, this was my old rice. I made a video about it. It was just fine. I really love it, but I want to try something different. And because I want to try something gnomish, it sounds so stupid, but like gnome, I switched to Noctalia. Noctalia is a great shell, but why? Because it's super minimal for me at least. It's pretty basic. It has native support for Niri, Hyperland, Sway, Mango WC, and Labs WC. So basically, why it is great? Because my laptop has for now Arch Linux plus XFS plus Hyperland. I made a video about it. Uh, and despite the fact that it's very fast on the system, I want to use something like LabWC because I want to actually squeeze every single piece of RAM of that laptop because I have 8 gig of RAM, but 2 are for the graphic cards. So basically, is 6 giga for Hyperland, and sometimes Hyperland is not that light with 6 giga. So LabWC is probably better. Even Sway is probably better than Hyperland, but I don't like Sway. I don't like some stuff of Sway. I use it for a long time. I prefer to use Hyperland. And also I don't want to use neither Niri, neither Mango UC, even though Mango UC I didn't try it, so let's see. It's built on Quick Shell, so it's very fast. It has a minimalist design philosophy, so it's perfect for me because I rather have a desktop like this. It's easy customizable. I'm going to show you how. And it has a many color scheme available. It's very easy to install, so basically if you have an Arch system like Arch Linux, Endeavor, Cache, Garuda, and I think even Manjaro. I don't know because I don't like Manjaro. I try to use it. It destroyed itself after 1 week, even though I didn't do anything. So whatever. Also, this Noctalia is packaged for Arch Linux based distro and XOS, even though I don't like XOS, but you can actually do that. If you have Arch, just do this, and then with run shell you can actually do this with Hyperland or other stuff. If you use Niri, you can do this. You can even run it with systemd. So basically, if you don't have neither Niri or Hyperland about other stuff like LabWC, you can actually use a systemd service. I use it like a normal startup file for Hyperland because I don't want to screw up my systemd service because I change a lot of stuff on my systemd. This is fine, it works as intended. It has a lot of keybinds that you can actually choose. And if you have some problems here, the page is full of information of why some stuff doesn't work. It's great. But now I want to show you actually my settings. This is the basic, almost default bar of Noctalia, but I changed some stuff because I put it like a gnomish style. So basically this has everything that I need. These are the settings. The general is very easy to actually customize. The fonts, I use the Terminus Nerd font because I really love this font. I even use the monospace one because I prefer it, that's all. Everything to 100%, even though I have big monitor, because I don't care. For me, it works as intended. You can even use the application language for every single application. So if I put here Italian, because I'm Italian, everything will change from English to Italian, and it works as intended. I'm not going to do that because why? But I use English just because some application doesn't work properly with my own language. So English for me just fine. I can use the computer. It's not a big idea. Using interface, these are the appearance. Everything I did, I snapped the panels to the edge. I allowed the panels on screen without a bar. So when enabled, the panels can open on any screen. Basically, it this one can actually reduce memory usage. Yes, I know that I have 32 gig of RAM. You see that, but I want to actually have less RAM to use. Whatever. It's just a Linux things. We are stupid for something like that. The panel background opacity, I put it to 80%, even though you can actually change it to wherever you want, even 100%, but 80 for me is just fine. Dimmed desktop opacity is the opacity level for desktop. So basically, to 0 is very bright, to 100 is black, is to around 20% for me is totally fine, perfect. Show tooltips if I want to actually do some stuff. So now it doesn't work because I'm on the settings, but if I hover the mouse over some stuff, it will show you actually what that thing is. And I choose to do to enable it because it's great. Drop shadow, if you want, you can actually disable it. I really like it, so, and also the system is more than capable to do this. I can even disable the UI animation if I want. You can do whatever stuff you want. This shell is built on performance, so you can actually disable every single thing that you think that it will use your RAM. That's all. Screen corner, you can actually have some rounded corner to the edge. So basically, if you change the bar to the default one, so basically like this, you can actually have the corner with a lot of stuff. I rather don't have this. I rather don't have this too. You can actually put more screen radius if you want, as you can see, but I don't care. I'm going to use to 100. I'm going to put the bar back again to floating, and that's totally fine. The color scheme, you can actually use the color scheme you want, even with the wallpaper. I usually use the dark mode as default, but you can even have the light mode if you want. So basically, if you do this, as you can see, light mode is enabled. I don't like it. Some people like this. I honestly prefer the dark mode. And as the color scheme, I use Matugen, like my old Rise, but my old Rise was Pywall plus Matugen. This one is only Matugen. And I use Tonal Spot. Sometimes I use Fruit Salad if I want a more vibrant color, sometimes I use Rainbow, but for the most part Tonal Spot is perfect, just balanced for what I like, because it's like the wallpaper, but a bit more dark, whatever. It's something that I like, you can choose whatever you want. And if you don't care about the wallpaper colors, you can actually disable this, but for me it's totally perfect. For the AI, I put the template on all of this, so if I use a GDK, a QT, a K color scheme, everything works as intended. Even though sometimes for the GDK stuff it's just a bit strange, but it works. For the compositor, if you have Neri and Manco, you can actually put this and everything works as intended. For the terminal, I have Kitty, and I use this and it works. For programs, I use Discord, Firefox for Firefox, even though I don't like Firefox anymore because of the AI stuff. I'm still going to use it because it's just comfort for me, so I use that. Visual Studio Code, I use the normal Visual Studio Code, not code OSS or VS Coding, because I use Unity and for some reason it doesn't work like that. Also, I don't care, I didn't put my Microsoft account on there, and also I disable every single time I can on that application. So basically, it's like the OSS version, but that works with Unity. Telegram with its own theme and Kava. For advanced, you can actually use your own templates, but I don't care. As wallpaper, I enable the wallpaper management. The first time I used the wallpaper manager, I used with Rofi. with my old Rise, and it was great with paywall and everything, but this is basically better. For the bar, I use the bar at the top with comfortable. The basic is mini. The default, sorry. The default is mini, but I don't like it, so... Sorry, the default is like this. Then I switched to compact. It was great, but too small, then comfortable for me. I rather have a big bar than a small bar, so that's great. Floating bar, the default is like this. I can actually disable the outer corner, so I can have a flat bar, but to be honest, I rather have this. I changed the position of the widgets, so on the left I have the custom button with active window, center the workspace with the media mini, even though I usually use the workspace like this. No, you can do this, you can actually do this and switch like this. Like my own Rise, but to be honest with you, I like it to the center, so I prefer like this, and then everything to the right. Also, I rather have the control center to the right and everything like this. Verification history like this. Oh, that's better. And I put both of them on both monitor. For the dock, this dock is perfect. I'm going to show you that later. It's perfect because it works on every single application. And for the most part, I only increased the size. I didn't change that much from the default. Lots of widgets, so I can have the media player, the weather, and the clock. Control center, I didn't change anything here, to be honest. The only thing I think I changed it was the battery. I delete that because I don't have a battery, so that's all. For the launcher is the application launcher. I put it to the center. That usually is not the default is follow bar, but I don't like it, so I put it to the center. Some people like it to the top left, so you can actually have it like a Windows menu, something like that, but I prefer to the center. And also I have everything like a list rather than a grid list. And that's all. It's everything, it works as intended. Command to launch a terminal. I use Kitty, so I didn't change this. That's all. Notification, I didn't change anything about this. I can even put the sound if I want. Wow, but who cares? On-screen display, I didn't change anything about this. Lock screen, I didn't change anything about this. Yes, there is a lock screen for this, but I still use hyperlock. I don't know why. I rather use hyperlock than the lock screen from this. I prefer it. That's all, even though I need to actually change it. Session menu, I didn't change anything about this, so I don't know anything. For audio display, nothing changed. I didn't change this. I can even enable Bluetooth if I want, and my system works with Bluetooth, but for some reason I can change this. But my system works with Bluetooth because I use it all the time. For the location, everything works as intended. Screen recorder, I didn't use it, so I don't know if this works. It should work just fine, but I rather use OBS. System monitor, it works as intended. I didn't put any threshold, I put everything on default. And from plugin, I didn't actually install anything. Even though if I want, I can actually install some stuff like the privacy indicator, simple to-do list measure. Actually, this one I rather having. Yeah, I can actually use it. Update count. This is totally fine. I'm going to use it. Perfect. So I can actually see if I need to update my system. The virtual keyboard, I don't care. Oops, I honestly don't know what is this, so I don't care. And this one is Noctalia Shell. I have the latest version, and everything works as intended. I'm gonna show you the wallpaper selector is like this, and if I change to something like this, it's a bit edgy, I don't care. It will change the color scheme, as you can see. Some stuff, this one is with AI, some images I really like with AI, some other images I don't care. I usually use this. Yes, I know it's not YouTube friendly, but I don't give a damn. Or something like this. I don't know if this supports GIF. No, it doesn't support GIF. SWWW supports GIF, so this is a less thing that I like about it, but who cares? okay. But let's see, I'm going to show you that everything works with even random stuff. Dress up darling, the girl at the Gen 2. Jesus Christ, I want to. What? Okay. The Gen 2 Chan. And I'm going to go back with the normal wallpaper that I use. I can even change the monitor if I want, but I don't care. This one is the application menu. It's totally different from Rofi, my custom Rofi. And honestly, I'd rather use this. You can even use this like grid type stuff, but I prefer the list also with all the categories that works as intended. This one, Adobe Substance 3D Painter, is on game because I used this version with loaders, even though I need to change it. I need to put it to graphics, but whatever. Network, office, system for office, I only have Zatura, and for system I have this, nothing special. For network I have two browsers because I want to switch to Vivaldi in case of Firefox doesn't work out properly. And that's all, this is my system. Noctalia is very great if you want to have a system that is ready to use, if you don't care about customize your own stuff from scratch. And it works with every system, it's very fast, and I recommend this. Even the dock is great. That's all. Bye from Mera or from Marco, whatever you wanna call me. Goodbye guys.